I was thinking of something in photography.
Ah, perfect.
You wonder why I'm here looking so cheek right now. It's because I just saw Devil Wears Prada 2, baby, and I've had a few drinks, so I'm probably a little bit tipsy, but here we go. Let's talk about Devil Wears Prada 2. Let's fucking go. So this is the long-awaited sequel to the first Devil Wears Prada, a film I saw in its entirety for the very first time a couple days ago. I've seen bits and bobs of it, but going into this, I wanted to be prepared, so I watched the first one, and by God, that movie is just a fucking masterpiece, man. It's just so fun. The characters are incredible. It has something to say. It has such sharp writing and dialogue. Meryl Streep is phenomenal. The way it doubles down on some of the things it's doing, I loved it so much. Just what a wonderful, crowd-pleasing film.
Steak! Where's my steak?
And the second one, you know, a lot of legacy sequels tend to be utter dog shit for the most part. I don't tend to enjoy a ton of them, but you know what? This movie I had so much fun with. I can't deny it. The Devil Wears Prada 2 was an absolute riot in the theater. I loved everything that it was attempting to do. I had so much fun with it. It holds the integrity of the narrative and the characters. It has its best interests at heart. And yeah, it just is a totally fun ride that I think people that enjoyed the first movie, like myself, are gonna go in really happy with this film. You know, the characters have evolved over the course of the first film, and it carries that on here. The whole arc that Meryl Streep's character goes on here, it continues in the second one, but you still get a little bit of just the meanness of that character and the pure savagery that she brings to the role. There is a little bit of that here, but it is dialed down a little bit because we do know there is a bit of an arc there that happened in the first one, and that continues over this one. The film does continue on in terms of real time from the first one, so this is 20 years later for these characters too. Anne Hathaway's character has become a journalist and gone down that route, and she has been a part of that industry for a little while now, and that's what she brings to the table to Runway in this second film. And then from there, you see a very fun and interesting narrative that has something to say while carrying on a lot of the fun and having a lot of those great characters that the first one had. But I think what makes this a really cool sequel is that this does have something to add on and something to say instead of rehashing old jokes and being just pure nostalgia bait. There is some of that here, but it's done for a lot of fun and it's done in a really nice, tasteful way. But then beyond that, this film has something to say about corporations taking over something creative and making it a purely corporate exercise with no artistic merit involved at all. Something like that is happening to Runway, and the film is somewhat about fighting against that and keeping that creative spirit going, keeping something that is created by humans to just be everlasting rather than something that is taken over by AI and corporations. You know, the film has a lot of commentary about corporate structures and potentially losing your job and things of that nature. It can be a very insightful film that has something to say, but it doesn't come across preachy at all. It just makes the narrative richer. And I think the first one did something along those lines as well. So I think this just feels like it's all in spirit with that and is just filled with such pure entertainment from start to finish with those lovely twists and turns that the first one had, except doing something very different in this one, and I think that's just so exciting. It's also very interesting to see where particular characters like Emily Blunt's character and Stanley Tucci's character are right now. It's particularly Stanley Tucci's. He was definitely a crowd favorite when that film released. He's a very endearing character that he plays, and he continues that on here with the weight of what happened in the first film, of him facing that rejection of something that could have changed his life in a significant way, and Meryl Streep's Miranda holding him back from that, and where he's at now. and the film continues that endearing relationship that he has with Anne Hathaway's Andy in just great way. They have great chemistry on screen, both Anne Hathaway and Stanley Tucci, and they both continue on with their roles in superb fashion. They completely understand the assignment, and it was just really fun. Also, who would have thought there is a love interest in this film for Anne Hathaway's character, and he is Australian, so you know what I mean? That's crazy. Great to have some representation there. You know, we're always doing good stuff.
That is my best friend. That's a man that I love. I love him like he's my brother.
Technically, the film has a lot of the same spirit that the first one had. The way it was shot, you know, it wasn't the most impressively shot movie. It does the job. It has just enough to keep it going. But I think where The Devil Wears Prada really strives in its technical department has always been its editing. And this one is no different. I think there are some fantastic montages in this film with some solid needle drops that work so well, keep the pace of this fresh and exciting. It's just a really entertaining film. The only thing I would say that holds us back a little bit over the first one, which I think is just an absolute classic and honestly a masterful film that doesn't get even enough credit, even though it is widely celebrated. The second one does have some strange pacing issues in the third act of this movie. It's just things start moving really quickly and it starts working to a resolution way too fast, to the point where nothing really breathes and it doesn't quite feel as earned as you would like. It's a small hiccup in what is an extremely entertaining film and honestly one of my favorite movies of 2026. I did not expect to say that about The Devil Wears Prada 2, but we are here and we are here to party and have a great time, and that's what we're doing here with this movie. This movie is so sick. The costumes and the crafting is also fantastic. Exactly what you would expect from this movie. I would say they go one step further than the first film, although there is one dress in this where Anne Hathaway is completely blown away and she wants to wear it for this brunch, and when it cut to her in the dress, I was like, man, really that dress? I mean,
it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion.
Overall, I love this movie, and I highly recommend you check out The Devil Wears Prada 2. I think it carries on so much of the same spirit that the first one had. It has something new to say. It is more than just a typical legacy sequel there to just bring in some easy cash. This is a real film that tries to do the best by the first narrative and the characters that are there, and I think it's a safe bet to say that you will have such a good time with this. Go check this out. And as a score, I'm going to give The Devil Wears Prada 2 a strong 4.5 out of 5. And I'm debating with myself whether to say this is my favorite movie of 2026 so far. I mean, we still got some plenty of heavy hitters coming out still. I'm still awaiting The Odyssey and Dune 3. Some movies that I think will definitely be up there. But for now, this movie was a riot. And I hope you guys check it out, especially if you like the first one. And if you haven't seen the first Devil Wears Prada, what are you doing? Go check it out. It is an absolute blast of a film. And those are my thoughts towards The Devil Wears Prada 2. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.